Hello and welcome to the channel. Today's video is the Den Bosch 60th Mega Record Fair Vinyl Finds and CD Finds Special. Fully recovered now. A little bit of alcohol was consumed over the weekend, and that was then followed up by the Easter bank holiday in the UK, which if you're doing it properly is also an excuse to maybe visit a few pubs. So I've caught up all my jobs. I've managed to clean all my vinyl finds from Den Bosch. I've listened to a couple and I will share what I bought with you. Thanks for all those that have watched the video I did, which was like an overview of the fair. That's on the channel under a playlist for Den Bosch. Been a lot of interest. Had a few new subscribers, so hello and thank you. Thank you for the older ones that are still with me and are watching these videos. So fabulous event. Highly recommend going. It's massive. It's a head scratcher. I was completely overwhelmed in the first couple of hours. I saw some records I never ever thought I'd see in my kind of lifetime, but in 20 odd years of collecting in more recent times, plus going back to 40 years when I was a kid, just stuff that you just don't see that often or at all. I had a couple of once. I had the Smith's Best 2 and the All About Eve 4th album, Ultraviolet. Not a sausage, didn't spot those two, and I've noticed the All About Eve one's not even on Discogs at the moment. There's not even a copy for sale anywhere. So those two are rare records for a reason, hard to find. But what was good, that gave me a bit of a narrow kind of structure to focus on. So I looked at a lot of kind of 90s vinyl or indie music, or alternative music, goth music, you name it, that sort of thing. So when you see what I bought, you'll kind of probably spot the type of stuff I was looking at. What I liked about the Den Bosch Fair, there was something for everyone. So within the first hour, I could have spent all my money in one fell swoop. I saw some really high-end, rare vinyl, some of the Paul Weller kind of live albums like Live Wood and Catch a Flame. Never seen those in the wild before. They were, €100 plus. I saw things like Dark Side of the Moon, Solid Blue Triangle. They had some of those there. That was a lot. Butcher covers for those Beatles fans. You name it, you could find it. Ironically, apart from the couple of things I was looking for. But it was fab, and what I really liked is there was something for budget. So if you look at some of the other videos, so Dave Atkinson really focused on the bargain bins as such. And what I liked, I only bought a couple from the bargain bins, but the stuff I did buy, actually, when I looked at the condition, got it home, it's absolutely fine. And you're talking €2, €3 records, which are immaculate. So in the UK, that's a couple of pound now. I don't know about you guys, but when I go to record fairs in the UK, the £2 and £1 albums are normally pretty dodge. Occasionally you get lucky, but really, really good stuff. And then the high-end stuff wasn't overtly high. When I've kind of catalogued and put stuff into Discogs, I don't think I've paid anywhere near median on anything. Quite a few I've paid a lot less than medium, and there were a couple of bargains. So highly recommended it. Check out the other videos. Without further ado, I'll stop rambling and show you what I bought. So day one, as I said, slightly alcoholic induced kind of slow start to the day. I think me and John were feeling in it a little bit, and we'd set ourselves a couple of little mini challenges. But in that first 3 hours, I was going round and round and round looking for the grail things I'd set my sights on, to no avail. And there were two big rooms, so we'd made the plan to do one room before lunch, meet up at 1 o'clock, have a bite to it, and then go and do the other room in the afternoon. The fair was on from 9 till 5, so you got about 4 hours in each room. And I didn't buy a fat lot the first day, but what I did buy, and the first thing I bought, excluding the challenge thing that we'd set, I'll come back to that later, was something that had been on my radar for a while. Got delayed in terms of release. It was around £60 on Amazon UK. I thought it was a little bit expensive, and there was a stall just doing box sets, CD and vinyl, and they got the vinyl box set, which was about €90, They got the CD version, I think, for €40, which is pretty cheap. It's works out about 35 quid. So I've got a lot of Jimi Hendrix box sets, and this is the latest one, called Electric Lady Studios. So this is all the kind of final kind of stuff that he was working on that became the Cry Love album that was released posthumously. This is like the last word on it. So 3 CDs, a Blu-ray with a big long documentary about the building of the studios and what was going on in Jimmy's life at this time. Comes with a nice kind of fold-out pack for the CDs and a decent book. So new format. The Hendrix stuff have gone from the long boxes to the slightly bigger things. So we're into this kind of 7-inch style packaging now. But for 30 odd quid, it was new and sealed. They had loads of them. So I'll grab that because that was my first kind of reasonable purchase, which was in the morning. Spent most of the other afternoon then in the second hall, getting totally overwhelmed. Still no joy going through all those goth albums and punk albums and indie albums. And then just as we're getting towards the end of the day, I'm walking down one of the aisles, and there was a big box of box sets just literally in the middle of the aisle between two kind of vendors. I nearly tripped over it. And right at the front was what I'm about to show you now. So this one, when this was released, it only had one pressing, and it came out at the same time as the Smiths Complete box set, which was a numbered limited thing, which was very expensive. The U2 Uber Achtung Baby set, and this one. So this one is the Whitesnake Box of Snakes. So this is a CD box set, and I think it's from 2011. It's got all of the studio albums from 78 to 82, 2 live concerts, Reading Festival 79 and 1980, and then a DVD of all the promos and bootleg live concerts and stuff like that. Only pressed once, and I didn't buy it when it came out because I bought the Big Smiths box set, which is now worth a lot of money, so that was a wise decision. The U2 one, I opted for the slightly cheaper box set rather than the Uber one, which I'm glad I did. And this, I thought, I'll pick this up when I see it, and it literally disappeared without trace. And Whitesnake were the first concert I attended to. They were probably one of the first bands that I kind of really loved as such and followed. And I really like this UK version, which is the pre-kind of hair metal 1987 album kind of version. Very bluesy, very of its time. It's hard rock, but it's not David Coverdale screeching. He sings really well. He's got a great voice, David Coverdale. You've got people like John Lord on it, Ian Pace, Bernie Marsden, Mickey Moody, Neil Murray was the bass. It's just a great band, and they were fab live when I saw them. But by the time I saw them, the core classic lineup of this era had kind of disbanded, and they were moving towards that hair metal stuff. Now, David Coverdale doesn't promote this era of Whitesnake that much. I think it's to do with rights. It's all tied up to management contracts from Deep Purple days. I don't think they made a lot of money in this era, even though they were a decent live draw. And it's not an era he looks back on that often. So he gathered up in this big box set, and this was nearly 14 years ago, and that really was it. So what do you get for this big box? Obviously, you get a big lid. There you go. You get the hype thing that was still attached on the outside. I've took that off and put it inside because it was getting a little bit torn. And there was no price on this when I was talking to the dealer because I couldn't find it. So when he opened it up, the price was on the inside, and that was lucky in a way, because if I'd have seen the price on the outside, I probably would have walked past it and gone, well, I don't want to pay that. So it was priced at €150. And as soon as he said that, I kind of went, ooh, no, too much, and there was a little bit of a language barrier. He then straight away went, well, I'll do it for, I think, 120. So that's €30 off. And I thought, well, if he's coming down that quickly, I'll do the old poker face. And he then went, well, what do you want to pay? And I just went, one for, not €1, 100. And I think we met in the middle at 110. So reasonable price. So it's probably cost me the best part of £100. Get a lovely book, a big poster, and the book's great because it's an interview with Bernie Marsden and David Coverdale. Sadly, Bernie Marsden's passed away. They go through the whole history of the band and what was going on. Loads of great photos, and this is actually quite hard to get now. So it's got like session sheets. Hold on, always hard to show these things, but all the singles and stuff like that, full discography, all the lyrics. Great set. You get a replica of the Snakebite EP on white vinyl, and then you get, and I'll try not to do this so they all fall out, on this nice foamy inside, all the CDs all there. And as I say, a couple of these are exclusive this set and can't be found anywhere else. I did read on, after buying it on Discogs, that there were some issues somewhere, but all of these CDs I've played, they're all fine. Something to do with the foam. They've all got those Japanese style rice paper protecting the discs, so touch wood, mine's absolutely fine. The book is actually worth it in alone, and it was around £100 UK mark, and that's pretty good. I think it would set you back probably on Discogs around the 150 minimum, so the original price was actually probably about right. So delighted to have that. It's been one of those things I've been after since time began, and to see it, never seen it before in the wild, to see it just sitting there in a bin along with loads of other box sets made my day, really. So it's a great one I've been after for donkey's years. Never thought I'd get. Pressed once, never to be seen again, so delighted to have that. So really day one was really about those kind of 2 box sets, and then we did do a little challenge as the best record you could find for €3. So my entry to that, I thought this was not bad find for €3, was the Immortal debut from Texas in very good condition, and that's probably worth a tenner any day of the week, with the one with I Don't Want to Love Her on. So I was delighted to get that. I didn't win the €3 challenge, but I did pick up the Booby Prize. David Atkinson donated, which was a double live Barclay James Harvest album, which unfortunately for me was the music of choice on the journey there, sparked off by Rob mentioning a song that references Beatles lyrics all the way through, and I went, well, they sound a little bit like the Moody Blues, to which there's actually a song on here called Poor Man's Moody Blues, and then Dave proceeded to regale us with Barclay James Harvey songs all the way there. So but he donated this to me because he'd already got about 4 copies of this, but he bought this as his entry just for the crack. I am going to show a little bit of VC LT from Dave, who, knowing that I enjoyed the Bee Gees Odessa album that we talked about in the car journey, Dave picked a copy up as well. He found me a nice, in the bargain bins, a nice copy of Trafalgar, a German pressing from the 70s on the RSO label. So thank you, Dave, for that one. So really day one was CD box sets, a couple of cheapy things, and I kept my money to one side a little bit, partly because I've had a hangover, but partly there was lots of, on Saturday afternoon, I started to see some signs going up saying Sunday discounts, and there was a feeling that there would be some decent deals to be had on the Sunday, so I think all of us were playing a bit of poker on the Saturday. Now, Rob Walker on Saturday bought a great album and he showed us, and when I saw it, I've never seen this one in a while. I didn't even know it existed. 1995 pressing. So Rob got it out and said, look at this, guys. And I think Dave, it kind of went over his head, but I kind of went, oh yeah, you don't see that one very often. And I said the immortal words, if I'd have spotted that, I would have bought that. So guess what? On the Sunday, whilst looking through my 1990s stuff, going round and round and round, over and over again, I found the album that Rob bought. So apologies, Rob, but you've shown it on your videos. I also managed to pick up the Inspire Carpets, the singles album from 1995. Double album with a free 7-inch EP. But if you've watched Rob's video and you watched my video, there is a subtle difference that mine has the hype sticker. So apologies, Rob. A UK first pressing that I put on the back, immaculate condition. I don't know where these had been hiding, but Rob found one. I was very jealous, and then I spotted one the next day, so had to buy that. That was probably the most expensive bit of vinyl I bought, but I think it worked out around 50 quid, something like that, which actually isn't too bad for this kind of pressing. So yeah, immaculate as well. Cleaned it and played it yesterday. Sounds wonderful. All the singles in chronological order. Brilliant band, the Inspire, also happy with that. Oldham's finest, allegedly. So so the next stuff is, you'll kind of see I was looking for goth, indie, alternative, and that now reflects what I ended up picking up. So we had the €3 challenge on day one, which I think Rob run with an Aphrodite's Child compilation. I think I came second, so I didn't do too bad with my Texas. But we also had a €10 challenge on day two, of which I think 2 of us entered and a couple didn't bother, which I thought was remiss. But for €10 on the day, I found the 4th album by Magazine, Howard Devoto and Company, mixed by Martin Hannett of Joy Division fame. And that's one I've never seen in the UK. This is a German pressing, absolutely immaculate this was, and that works out around about €8, something like that. So sorry, €10, about £8, so can't knock that. You don't see Magazine albums that often in the UK. To which I also then found the Magazine debut, another German pressing. This, I think, some of the prices on there were on the Sunday, they were cheaper. So I had to look. I can't remember some of these, but I don't think this was much more than about €15. There was some kind of deal on it. So a lot of them were like 50% off on the Sunday, 30 to 50 depending on the stall. So so this was in that, and been after that for ages. So I think I've got 3 of the 4 Magazine studio albums on vinyl now. The one I probably should have bought when I was over there was Secondhand Daylight. I saw loads of them over there, and for whatever reason my brain wasn't computed that I picked up 2 of the 3 Magazine albums I needed, and I could have completed my set. Celebrate. One I was delighted to find, because when I see this in the UK, this wasn't expensive, but whenever I see them in the UK, because there's a bit of a die-cut sleeve, they're always really knackered. So this is a OMD's Dazzle ships with the proper die-cut sleeve. So it goes to the hole in it there. But these are normally damaged on the edge and come apart. So delighted to get that, and it was about a £5. So can't knock that. Everyone tells me this is a brilliant album. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, but it's like the OMD connoisseur's choice, and I don't think it did very well commercially. So I'm intrigued to give that one a listen. So looking forward to that. So one album I was on my kind of wish list is, I saw this band last November with my friend Mark, and I've been after a nice vinyl copy of this one ever since. And normally when I spot them, they're either really expensive, around the £30 mark, and they normally have a big sticker on it saying includes poster, and the poster's never there. I didn't really want to pay £30. I've got it on CD. I thought if I can find it for £20, I'll find. So I was in a store looking at, and it was like 90s vinyl, and I found one for €25 with the poster. So I picked that up, and then when I carried on looking, I found one then for €20 with the poster, and I couldn't tell any difference, so I put the 25 one back. I then found one for €15 but no poster, so I bought the one in the middle with the €20 mark, and it does include the poster. Immaculate thing. So this is The and Mind Bum. Got my favourite The song on, Beaten Generation, which of course features Johnny Marr of the Smiths. So that was as close to a Smiths record as I got over that weekend, but delighted to have that one. Not that easy to find these days. I love to find a copy of Dust. That's a great album. But Matt Johnson & Co, Mind Bum, happy with that. So then obviously I'm looking through, still looking for goth stuff for that stupid All About Eve album. So I found in the kind of bargain bins, I'd got a load of coins, because obviously when you're paying €10 instead of 8, you get €2 back. So I'd acquired about €12 in coins. So I need to get a shot of this. So one guy was doing, I think he'd got €10, but 30% off, so it come out at €7. So the Skids, I think this might be their 3rd album. I was quite happy to find this. I very rarely see the Skids stuff in the UK, but Rob then and Dave basically told me it's their worst album, so thanks guys. But I thought I'll give that a whirl. If I don't like it, I obviously know if I do buy any more, they're going to get better, aren't I? So that could be good. But Stuart Adamson of Big Country fame, that's from 1980. That's a UK press. No, that's a German. Most of these were German kind of things, apart from that was a UK. Same store, doing Cheapy Cheaps. Patti Smith group, so Wave. So had this on CD for ages. It's got Dancing Barefoot on it, which is one of my favourite songs of hers. Frederick, which I think did Morrissey cover that as a single? Yeah, it might have done. They covered this So You Want to Be a Rock and Roll Star by the Byrds on it as well, produced by Todd Rundgren of Bat Out of Hell fame. So again, around €7, something like that. Can't really knock that, can you? It's a German one. Then probably one of the finds. So in the UK, to find this album, you don't see it very often. And I've now managed with this to get the first 4 solo albums by the wonderful Julian Chee. So this is Fried. And Julian is from Tamworth, so it's quite local to really where I kind of grew up. And this is where we wandered around fields with a bigger kind of, what's not a tortoise? What's bigger than a tortoise? The big shell thing. They swim in the sea. A turtle shell all around. So UK first press, immaculate, still got the inner. That's a really good album. I've got this on CD and it's brilliant. So it's got Rainyard the Fox on it, and Sunspots. Really good album. I think that is his second album, and it's one of those legendary albums that everyone thought he was off his head on various substances and would never recover. But I found that pretty cheap, and then I found this one even cheaper because he did recover and he came back with a very commercial album called Saint Julian, which does have the wonderful World Shut Your Mouth on it, one of my favourite singles of the 80s. Trampolines on there as well, so that was next to nothing, that was. So happy to finally get that. Those were both the UK presses, so delighted with that. 3 more to go. So getting towards the end of the Sunday, starting to run out of steam a little bit, and the store where I bought the Whitesnake box set, I was back there. One tip I would have you with Den Bosch is, if you spot something you want, don't walk away, because I did that a couple of times. I thought I'll go back and get that, and then could never find it again because I couldn't remember where these stores were. So this one I was really pleased to find this actually. I've got all the stuff on vinyl of this band with 1 or 2 exceptions. I think I need the Echoes Big 4 album box set, and I also needed this one. So this is Pink Floyd and Works, which is a US only comp from '83, I think. Now what I was really pleased from this one, it was still in the shrink, and it has the hype sticker. The hype stickers, as Rob discovered, are very important. So that was great. It then puts in a nice pink hype sticker. It then ties in with the paint pot at the back. So the selling point of this is it has the track Embryo on it, which was on a UK sampler album for Harvest Records, never released in America before, which is why it says previously unreleased track. So a strange one, weird kind of track list, but it's one to have. So it's stuff really from first couple of singles with Syd Barrett, a couple of tracks from Meadow, a couple of tracks from Dark Side, some of the soundtrack stuff, even one from Umagumma, the wonderful several species of small furry animals gathered together in a cave and grooving with a pick. Try saying that one when you've had a few. So yeah, so delighted to find that, and again pretty reasonable, easy. Because it was a Sunday afternoon, they kind of, I went, how much? And I think it was €20 on the sticker, and they just went, 15. So €15, can't go wrong with that, can you? And then one of the other last things I thought, and I was delighted with this, because whenever I see this in the UK, it's really expensive. It's normally £30–35. This one was in great nick. So the first album by Public Image. This is a German pressing, and I think this again was under the €20 mark. So really pleased to find that. One of my favourite kind of albums by this band, so delighted with that. And then literally, just as I was about to go home, and call it a day, and we were off to the pub to watch the football, I'd got €2.50 in my change, yeah. And as I'm walking towards the final meet-up, there's a store which is everything €3. And I thought, well, I'll just flick and see what's there. And I think the third record I looked at was the second album by the Fun Boy 3, a little bit of sleeve split, that's about it really. And I kind of went €2.50, and he was actually really pleased because everyone was paying with €5 notes, and of course I gave him the €2. He was delighted to have the coin. So that was effectively £2, and again in the UK the record fee, probably talking £10 every day. Delighted with that because obviously Terry Hall's great, isn't he? But it's also got Our Lips Are Sealed on it, one of the great 80s singles. So that was the Den Bosch haul. All the stuff happened thereafter, but it's 25 minutes in there, so I'll save that for another day. Thank you for watching if you've made it this far, and hope you enjoyed what I got. Last word, great event, great experience, totally unique. I think one or two of us are kind of thinking, you know, we'd like to go back. It's probably a question of when, finances and that type of stuff, rather than if. But probably next year for me. I need a little bit of recovery time. But I would highly recommend. The thing I'd also say, the people of Den Bosch, the hotel staff, the bar staff, everywhere we went, it was really great, really friendly. Beautiful city. And yeah, if you want a little bit more of the background, go and watch some of the other videos that are on the playlist on my channel. But brilliant event. Thanks for watching. Go Axeman Spins. Hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think, etc. Thank you for sticking with me. And that was the vinyl finds with a couple of CD box sets thrown in for Den Bosch 2025. See you on the next one.